Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. And I found a tag the other day. It's called hashtag I got a deck for that from Feeding My Soul. There are 16 prompts. It's quite a bit, so let's get into it. So number one, and I will post her link below once we're done here. A deck that represents your favorite movie genre. And I chose hold on a second. Okay. I love movies. And because I didn't want to pick, Grease is my favorite movie of all time. I was 6 months old when the movie came out. My mom took me to the theater to watch it. It was my first movie ever in the theater. But because I couldn't pick, I chose the movie tarot. And so it's just every kind of movie ever except for Grease on here. This is a indie deck I got that's no longer in print off Etsy. I love every kind of movie. Horror movies I don't really care for. Seen that. Look at that. Dirty Deeds. Another one of my top 5 favorite ever movies. But I just love all kinds of movies. So this will be my top pick. Well, I'm a romantic comedy kind of girl, I guess. So that would be the genre. I couldn't really pick, so I just picked that. Actually, that should have been for number 2. That should have been for the favorite movie. I don't even know where it went. Okay, so number 2 is favorite movie, which that's what I just showed you, the movie tarot for my favorite movie. So for my favorite, this will be for my favorite movie, the Unfolding Path Tarot. This is the mass market edition by Hay House. So my favorite movie genre would be romantic comedy. And that's what I see in this deck. I actually see Shia LaBeouf in this and Ryan Reynolds, which he's a romantic comedy. And he looks like somebody, too, that's in romantic comedies, I think. But this is what I feel like in this deck is like a romantic comedy deck. And everybody's seen this. Oh, my gosh. The music just went off. Oh, my gosh. I don't know why it's always going off anymore. But this is beautiful. It reminds me of a romantic comedy, kind of. There's Shia LaBeouf to me. I think I passed up Ryan Reynolds. But he's, I think, the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. Let me see. Right here, I think. Yeah, he looks like Ryan Reynolds. Does he not? Anyway, that is number 1, technically. The favorite movie genre is romantic comedy. And then the movie tarot is the favorite movie. I couldn't pick. Grease is my favorite movie of all time. It wasn't in here, so I just chose the movie tarot. Beautiful. It's now out of print. I'm sorry. Next, we have... It came back on its own. Creepy. Okay, number 3 is a deck that represents your favorite color. Where is it? Deck that represents my favorite color. It's a Loscure Bearer deck. The box is long gone because it broke. Because it was in a tuck box. But this is a Universal Celtic Tarot. My favorite color is this dark hunter looking green. There's something clear in there. Okay. What's happening? There's a card in there that don't belong. Or maybe it's just about it's turned the other direction. That's why. I freaking love this deck. I use it a lot. It is to me like an ultimate Virgo deck. I edge it in dark green. It's the backs. I love this deck. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Every card has green in it, like a darker green. But dark green is my favorite. I mean, green is my favorite color, period. But I like the darker greens. It's my favorite color. And it's a green dragon. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. That's the reason I bought this deck. This Eight of Swords. Everything. Stunning. Beautiful. That's my favorite color. Okay. Next we have number 4 is a deck that represents your childhood self. And it's over here underneath a stack of decks. Mystic Medleys. I've said before, this is my childhood working deck, I guess. I've used it as such. I love the backs. This is by Liminal 11. I freaking love this deck. 2 pieces. 2 pieces. It is my childhood in a deck. Well, not my childhood, but a normal person's childhood in a deck to me. It's cute. Eight of Swords, yeah. 7 of Pentacles. That is the Mystic Medleys by Liminal 11. That is my childhood, or represents, what did I say? Represents my childhood self. Now, number 5, a deck that represents your teenage self. And I had some dark times. So the Tarot de la Noche. I was alone a lot. I preferred it that way. I grew up in an abusive home. The backs. And this kind of represented that. Like, there's a darkness that started in the teenage years. And this is the deck that did that. This is a low scale barrel, two part box. This is the bigger cards, thicker cards. I use this. This is my impromptu shadow work deck. But for my, like, a younger teenage self that I've used for. This deck will smack the crap out of you. If you don't want your stuff out there, don't use this deck. But, yeah. This is what I see. It's that angsty teenager. I've already got issues. And now I have more because I'm a teenager, kind of. Yeah. So that's that deck. Now, number 6, a deck that represents your adult self. And that would be my favorite deck of all time, the Light Seers Chaos deck. Everybody knows this deck, and of course it's in my dark green edged that I've done. This is my go-to for everything as an adult. Like I've said before, if I could only ever have one deck, this would be it. This deck saw me through the pandemic, and it's one of those decks that I can put away for months, come back to months later, and we literally pick up our conversation where we left off. This deck is never far from me, and I also now have the mini too. And I'm thinking about getting it back up because this is getting wore out, and the box is ripped a little bit. But that is my adult self. Okay. I don't know what happened to this deck right here, but there. Okay. Number 8. Number 7, a deck that represents your favorite song or music genre. Oh. The first adult song I ever bought and listened to on repeat was Dream Lover by Mariah Carey. This is the Pastoral Tarot, and this makes me think of that deck for some reason, or that song for some reason. I love it to pieces. She's dancing in a meadow for most of it, and I think that's part of why I chose this. There's a lot of flowers in it. It's a beautiful deck. There's a field of lavender somewhere here, I think. Let me look. Am I looking at the wrong? Look at that. Just stunning cards. There's a field of this Lover's card. Look at that. Makes me think of the Dream Lover song. I can't find it now. There it is. And I believe that's Lisa Hunt, but this is what it made me, this card is what made me think of that. But it's a beautiful, beautiful deck, and it's a landscape. It's stunning. But yeah, that's the deck, the cards that made me think of this deck for that song, for Dream Lover. Look at the lovers with the sky. Ugh. It's a beautiful deck. Beautiful. So that was the Pastoral Tarot. Okay. That's for number 7. Number 8, a deck that represents your favorite book genre. And we got the Monsters Tarot deck. Because I love me a good paranormal romance. Vampires, shapeshifters, all that kind of stuff. Right up my alley. It's by Inside Editions. Just backs. Gorgeous deck. It's a pip deck, but it's also got these people in it that make me feel like they're ancestors. It's weird. I love this deck though. It's so cool. Bride of Frankenstein. Totally the things I would read. I didn't start out that way. I started out reading my mom's romance novels. And then I married my husband, and my sister-in-law introduced me to paranormal romance books, and one thing led to another. Now I read everything, but this is my favorite genre, I'm pretty sure. So that's the deck for that. So number 9, I'm doing my phone. We heard this up. Number 9, a deck that represents your favorite TV show, or past, present, or future. Past or present. And of course, it's the Friends Tarot. I was like, what am I going to use for that? Then I'm like, oh, duh. My favorite TV show of all time is Friends. And of course, I have the deck. It's stunning. It's like $15 on Amazon. It's beautiful. I love this deck. 2 pieces. I never use it, but I'm so glad I have it. That is the Friends Tarot for my favorite TV show ever. I have all the memorabilia. I have all the outtake. I have all the videos. I mean, all the shows. I have all the deleted scenes. Everything. All the trivia stuff. I've got a couple games that was Friends related. Yeah, I was obsessed. Okay. Number 10, a deck that represents your favorite pastime or hobby. And I am a reader and a writer. And this is the Tarot for Japanese Poetry. It's an indie deck. It's like scrolls. It's gorgeous art here. These are the backs. It's a thick deck. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And then the book is haikus and poetry that describes the card. And I'm just like, kill me now. Right up my alley. Anything that has to do with writing poetry, I'm there for it. So that is the Tarot Japanese Poetry. And here's the book. Yeah, see? The ridge of the distant mountains covered in a light haze, signaling joyfully, here comes at last the first spring dawn. That's the first Ten of Winter or Ten of Swords card. There's multiple options in this deck for those cards. Okay. Number 11, a deck that represents your favorite holiday or dream holiday destination. Let's take the Hollow Tarot. This is brand new. It is by Red Feather. Very cute. These are the backs. I like the cardstock on this. It's a cute deck. So cute. Love it to pieces. Love it to pieces. And this is like, I think it's, I don't know where it took place. I always envision it taking place in Salem, Massachusetts, somewhere in there. New York. All these spooky places that I would love to go. Love to go. So, yeah. And Halloween, of course, is my favorite holiday. So, number 12 is a deck that represents the decade you were born. I don't have a deck that represents that. But I do have a deck that I would talk about. I've talked about. This is the Morgan Greer. I was born in the 70s. This reminds me of roller skating in the 80s. That's what this deck reminds me of. I don't remember the 70s because I was born in the mid-70s. But I do remember the 80s. And I remember roller skating a lot. And that's what this deck reminds me of. So, as close as I could get, I do have one deck, the Hanson Roberts, that was printed in 1974, I want to say. I could have used that, but I wanted the feeling of something that's older, even though it's a newer deck. It's the Morgan Greer. That's my 80s deck, but even though I was born in the 70s. That's a U.S. Games deck also, by the way, if you didn't know. Oh, God, we're getting close. Number 13, a deck that represents your favorite flower. And I chose, where'd she go? The Enchanted for Hawks Tarot by Hay House. There is a lot of irises in this. This is the backs. But there's also tulips, which is my favorite flower. And roses. Roses are gorgeous too. But it's stunning. Look at the roses here. I know there's tulips in here, but I do love all kinds of flowers. There's the irises. I didn't pull the cards out. I'm just showing you all the cards because they're gorgeous and stunning. But that's what this reminds me of, is the tulips. Because they're all different. That is the For Hawks Tarot. Okay. 14, a deck that represents your favorite scent. My favorite scent ever is a good fire in the fall. And as soon as I think of fall, I think of this deck. And you're going to know. It's the Elk Ashen Thorn. I freaking love this deck. 2 pieces. It's my fall. It's my ultimate fall deck. I can almost smell the wood burning fire. The fire burning when I hold this deck. I can almost smell it and feel it. And that is stunning. And that is the Oak Ashen Thorn for my favorite scent. It's fall and the crisp air and the dead leaves smell. It just does something to me. Number 15 is a deck that represents your favorite food. I don't have a deck that represents my favorite food, but I do have a deck that I have to eat in strides, the Mary L, because it fills you up and nourishes you, and it takes a while to digest it all. I have a lot of favorite foods. Chinese food, Subway. Those are my two favorite things, probably. But then we want to talk about desserts. I mean, I have favorites in every category, probably. But this Mary L is all encompassing in that, because it feeds you, and then it takes you a while to digest it all. So that was a Mary L. And then the last card deck I didn't grab. It's a deck that represents your favorite beverage, and I did not grab it off the shelf. I've been trying a lot of different coffees, like cold coffees, which I've never done before. But I have a deck called the Divine Tea Time cards. They're blue. They have beautiful flowers on them. I don't know where it's at the moment, but it's an oracle deck. But it has a lot of natural herbs and things like that are their teas. So I'm not going to go dig it out because it's late and this video is almost done, and that's all I got. That's all the prompts. So yeah, I will talk to y'all later. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night.